American person, if you were walking past by, they'd be like, "Hi, good morning," and they wouldn't wait for you to answer. They just like go by. It's like a normal like greet. For an Indonesian person, it was said, "Halo, selamat pagi, gimana kabarnya?" They would stop and wait for you to answer. Cause like if you went past by, like if they did that, it's like, lah, kok nih orang pergi aja, kok nggak sopan banget? Kan, it's a different culture, right? Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, Wonder people. Welcome back to another Wonder podcast with me, Dzikri, Adiba, Ayesha, and Ukhti. Today, we're going to talk about the different schools and how that makes our schools all unique. Let's start by asking Ukhti, how is your school and like what do you think makes it super unique?
Okay, so I go to this private school basically. Yeah. I go to sekolah swasta kan, SMK tapi. Yeah, and basically my school is unique because there's not many people in my school karena because it's cabang.
Oh, so it's like a different school from like the other places.
Yeah, and it's very new. I'm the 4th angkatan.
But what do you think is like something cool that other schools don't have?
Something cool that other schools don't have is that I'm friends with all my teachers. All my classmates are friends with the teachers.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, now that I've just recently graduated, most of my teachers are like, okay, you don't get to call me Miss anymore. Like, just call me by my name.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
That's like how you become more casual with them.
Yeah.
How about Ayesha? Tell us about your school.
Well, my school is international school, and it's swasta too, at a private school. But the thing that usually international schools are like at boarding school, this is pondok pesantren. So they have a pondok pesantren with it. Yeah, I think that's what makes it different.
Okay, that's really cool. So it's an international school, but it's also a pondok. It's a boarding school. So you could say that you guys have dormitories, but you guys have the implemented international curriculum.
Yeah, and every day you have to speak English. Like that's.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah. How about Adiba?
Okay, since I go to the same school as my dear sister, what I say is unique from the school because it uses Cambridge as a curriculum.
Oh, it's Cambridge.
It is.
Oh, okay, that's really cool. Okay.
Which sometimes also makes us not as smart as other students from another school.
How
like
so?
Negeri.
How so?
Because the other schools use Merdeka curriculum. Meanwhile, Cambridge material isn't as advanced as Merdeka.
Maybe it's because how they teach is different. So you can't really compare it to like curriculum Merdeka karena it's like how the pelajaran, like how they give the stuff and like the subjects are all also kind of different. And especially you guys speak in English, right? So you guys use it on a daily basis.
What about you, Dzikri?
Okay. You talked. Okay. So I'm gonna like talk about my school. So I'm in a boarding school right now, but I'm gonna talk about my old school, which I stayed for 1 year. So it was also a private school, but it's also international, but it's not a boarding school. So we had the IB Learner Profile curriculum. So it's not Cambridge, but it's a American curriculum that people use outside. Yeah, so it's like if you guys know about the curriculum, it has like the personalities like caring, responsible, risk taker, all those stuff. We use it on a daily basis to learn. And one of the things that would be different from like sekolah negeri itu, they have like long-term projects. So you don't have like those like daily ulangan harian. You don't have those like essays. It's just like a long-term project, and they see how good you've developed and like how good your result is at the end. And so they also see how you guys behave in like class too. So it's like you pulang pergi kan, and the people there, it's since I go to a school in in somewhere, like the place is we have not just Indonesian people, because the people who work there also are like expats. They have people all around the world, like Chinese people, like people from Australia, America, like India too. So like even if you're not Indonesian, you still have to like connect with them in a way.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is something you guys would like to have that isn't in your school? Like, let's say you have something you want in your school, but it isn't there.
Why don't you start with yourself?
Okay, so, well, in my school, since again, it's a international school and the people aren't all Indonesian, there's also like Bule people there. I feel like because of that, Indonesian people, they got like contaminated, I guess. Like they turn into like, they act rude, especially towards the teachers. Like, so like, you said that you guys are close with them. And like, yes, although we are close, there are people that are like, they're like, apaan sih gitu. Like, I don't have to like be respectful towards you. Like, you're not my parent. And I feel like sometimes that like affects how you learn and how you acknowledge the teacher. And you know how like, let's say for an American person, if you were walking past by, they'd be like, hi, good morning. And they wouldn't wait for you to answer. They just like go by. It's like a normal like greet. For an Indonesian person, it would say, halo, selamat pagi, gimana kabarnya? They would stop and wait for you to answer. Because like if you went past by, like if they did that, it's like, lah, kok ni orang pergi aja? Kok nggak sopan banget? Kan, it's a different culture, right? Especially if you mix both cultures, it doesn't always mix. And especially if the Indonesian people want to be like other people out there. So I feel like it'd be more about your like how you act, not about the curriculum though, because it's also a whole different thing. How about you?
I don't know, because I mean, like in our pondok pesantren, there is a lot of activities, and I would not like to add any more. Maybe just add the sleeping time.
I agree too.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Okay, how about you guys?
Okay, well, maybe since my school is still like very new, right?
Yeah.
The like our lessons aren't very maximum, you know?
Yeah.
So like even after I graduate, I feel like I haven't learned enough, because my school is like a very, it takes like a very wide part of like one, apa ya, kayak ini kan multimedia gitu. Instead of just one like photography or just design or just animation, stuff like that. So like I learned all of it, and like it makes me like instead of being good at one thing, instead like I'm just like okay at like everything, but like I'm not really good at like one.
So you don't have one thing that you're like really really good at.
Yeah.
So basically you learn everything there.
Yeah, and like I feel like the quality of the teacher now is like already like really good. It's better. It's getting better. It's just that back then when I was like in still in 10th and 11th grade, like there was a lot of teachers that literally sleeps in class, and like basically since we're like a very small class, right? There's only 12 people in my class. So the teacher basically waits for everyone to be able to do like one task, basically, until they can do it. Like everyone else can't move on, basically, like that.
Oh, so you guys have to like wait for the others to continue. Oh, okay, I understand. How about you?
I don't think for the madrasa part is really a matter, but what I like, what do I say?
What would you like to change?
A little bit weird, and something is the mahat part. You can say that.
Can you like explain more about the ma'had?
Yeah, can you explain what a ma'had is?
Well, the mahad is the pondok pesantren part. It's not with the umum.
The learning, okay.
And then, the ones who teach you there are mostly, especially who menjaga you. Is the musyrifah.
Yeah,
is
I
like
understand.
your mom, right?
Yeah.
But what's getting really what makes it a problem is the musyrifah is, you can say, a little bit moody. Like we can't find a suitable musyrifah for our age, for especially teenagers that we have puberty and stuff like that problems. Especially the musyrifah that are still in college.
You know, that's funny because in my school now, in my school, in the boarding school, there's also like many mushrifas, like our like room keepers, I guess. We'd also like think of them as our second mom, but yeah, some people wouldn't think the same. But sometimes because their age isn't like our parents, so they don't know how it feels to have a teenager. So they might act, and we might think that that's a problem, but for them, they might think it's fine. So I totally can relate.
Yeah.
Oh, and speaking about teachers, what about like we talk about the English teachers? Since we're talking in English, we started in English, so let's like start talking about our English teachers in our own schools.
Well, mine's pretty good. I mean, like
She's been to USA for 11 months.
11?
11.
Yeah, she had her high school was in the US,
And she's better at English than me, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool.
And how she teaches us is really unique. Sometimes we get to play games while learning.
Watch movies.
But of course, there's still pelajaran behind it. So like after we watch a movie, she'll ask us questions about it.
Oh yeah, I understand.
And then for the games, usually we have grammar or something like that. But as a game, so it doesn't make it boring. Like,
Yeah,
it's not only
that's really
material.
cool.
Just write it down on the whiteboard and then like explain it. Like, huh? What is that?
Okay, cool. How about you, Ukhti?
My English teacher, I kind of want to compare between like my SMP English teacher and my high school one. Because I went to a public middle school, right? And like the teacher there was, oh my god, basically, she says things wrong. She says things wrong, and like if I say something right, like she would say you're wrong. Like she doesn't want to be wrong because she's older. Yeah, it was so annoying. But at the end of the day, like I ended up like having an average score in English.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
good. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah. And in elementary,
Yeah.
there's this one teacher that's always getting the grammar wrong. And I was like, no, it's like this.
Yeah,
And I was
yeah.
like, no, you don't get it. It's like this. And I was like, who's from America?
Black sort of.
Yeah. And like my high school teacher, she's amazing. She's just amazing. Okay, she's my best friend, literally my favorite teacher ever. Just like Ayesha, like she also teaches in games too sometimes.
Yeah.
And like sometimes like when basically the way she teaches, it's like apa ya, jadinya lebih, it makes things simpler and faster to learn gitu. So some days like usually like once every 2 months, in her class, we get like something like empty because like she hasn't prepared more because like we already finished it like faster than what she expected gitu loh. Yeah, so we end up like playing like those song games where there's like one word and you have to like sing a song that has that word in it.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
So it's just like fun games. It's not English anymore.
Fun games. But there's also like actually like apa ya, more like vocabulary games.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I also have that too.
Yeah.
Okay, because like I also want to compare my SMP and SMA teachers. But for me, I'm gonna compare 3 teachers at the same time because I went to a all girls school for 7th grade and 8th grade, and then for 9th grade I moved and then went to a different school, and then now I'm in like high school and have a different school, a teacher again. So basically, when I was in 7th and 8th grade, when we started learning like at school, same as you guys, like I'd be like, oh no, the grammar is wrong. Also in Zoom meetings before we met, and then she's like, no, it's like this. I don't think you understand. And I'm like, no, but the grammar is wrong. And then she's like, no, I'm right. Like she's like, okay, anyways, back to the topic. And I'd be like, okay, fine. I was just trying to help. And then for my 9th grade, okay, this is a really funny story because you know how I said that we use the IB Learning Profile, right? So automatically it's a American curriculum.
Yes.
And it's funny because our teacher, she's a Malaysian person, and you know, like they use British English, right? But she teaches in IB Learner Profile. But when we speak, she's like, no, it's wrong. And like one time, I put in like my essay, I put color as in like COLOR, not COLOUR. And then she was like, she corrected it, and she's like, Dzikri, can you please correct this part? I'm like, what? But it's right. And she's like, yeah. So basically, sometimes I get confused because like, she's supposed to teach American curriculum, but like she speaks in a British English way, which sometimes for me I don't get it. So yeah, and like also most of her like her assignments are like essays, which I did not like at all. I wouldn't prefer them at all because like they're really hard to make, and to like perfect them are also a really hard like thing to do. And then for my high school teacher, she's okay, I guess. I mean, she didn't really have like your guys's like experience or like that stuff. She like had like a degree in like pendidikan bahasa Inggris gitu. But basically, since I talk to her a lot, because like I like speaking English with her, and especially in a lingkungan yang kayak ngomong bahasa Inggris tuh kan jarang ya. Jadi kalau misalkan ngomong di asrama tuh kayak, lu ngomong apa sih? Kayak, and then like for my teacher, she'd be like, oh yeah, this stuff, and like she'd like, you can like join these competitions if you want, like in English and that stuff, because like she'd be like a friend I'd have if I wanted to speak in English. And I think that's like one of the reasons why when I had my test, my grades were actually pretty good. So I'm pretty satisfied for my like end result. So it's getting okay now, I guess.
I'm happy for you.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to go back to my 9th grade teacher. Sorry.
But it's an international though. Like it's supposed to be better.
It's an that's the thing. The old school she went to like teach to, it was a Christian school, and she also did the IB Literary Profile, obviously. But like how she did it was just not the way how I understood, and like how she'd speak. Like in like a normal American, no, not American accent, just like English, but the way she speak would be like in a British English. And then sometimes me and my American friend, his name is, he'd be like, he'd be like, huh? And I'd also be like, what? And we were, when I was having a vacation to my my hometown, no, actually my old school, I went there, right? And they were like learning English. I went to like my old like alumni, like my angkatan sebelumnya. And it's funny because they were having a project, and the long-term project was Juliet and Romeo and Juliet. I got that mixed up. Sorry. So I was like thinking, oh my God, are we like going back to like medieval times? Because like in America, I don't know why I'm comparing this like a lot, but like I'm just saying in America, in our grade, we'd be learning about World War I and World War II. And here we're talking about Romeo and Juliet. Like, who would have thought about that, bro? So I was like, okay, thank God I'm not here. Like, even though the facilities have changed and the teacher's still the same, but it's nice to have a new experience. But one of like the kekurangan is I have to adapt, which is not an easy thing to do, especially with the different lingkungan and like places. Yeah.
I mean, technically, you have to adapt like basically anywhere you go.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. especially when you go to college.
Yes.
Yeah, you gotta
oh my
get
God.
used to that.
You gotta get used to talking to strangers. Do you guys like have like any like unexpected moments or like moments that you just like didn't really like in your own like school?
There's a lot, but I forgot.
Can you like tell us one?
Yeah, that's it. There's so many until I forgot.
You can tell us one.
What do you think?
But you
I
remember the feeling.
did. It was like
It's like membekas gitu ya.
rage inside. I was like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, so I understand. Coming from a boarding school background, I get it.
Even from my background, I get it. Like, we all relate.
We all relate.
Dude, who doesn't? In this life, it's life.
Yeah. Wait, what was the question again?
What are like some unexpected moments or like moments? It doesn't have to be an unexpected. Just a moment that you guys want to share. Because I definitely like all the viewers would definitely appreciate it.
Okay, well, since I'd like to share something.
Okay.
Since in my school, like, all of us are friends basically, and it's a small lingkungan. So like, even I'm friends with like my kakak and my dekel and like everyone basically. Like, there's no circles in my school until recently. Actually, yeah, the new kids have circles now for some reason.
Because
But
it's a new generation
New kids
now.
do
Yeah,
have
the
circles.
new-
I'm like, we were not like that.
Exactly. Like, oh my god.
I don't know why, but it's probably because like when I first came to like my new school, they all had circles, especially with the alumni. They'd be like, "Oh, you're alumni, you're with me," and like the new kids, they'd be like, what do we do now?"
I have no idea who you
Like
guys
I don't
are.
know who you are.
Yeah.
And like I just like stick to one person, and she also stick with me. And like, okay, we're gonna finish this. Okay, we should like finish and like graduate together. Cause like, but that was like the only first start. Like as time goes by, you get to know like all the people, even though they might not treat you the same. But yeah,
And people change.
Yeah, people
eventually.
change.
yes, that's very true.
People come and go and they change.
Wow.
Wow,
But I stay for you guys.
No.
That's very poetic. Thank you. I'm very flattered.
Okay. Yeah, so basically I'm very like we're actually friends with our teachers. So like sometimes my teachers guilt trip us. Like if we don't do something,
yeah.
they be like they're acting like they're our age and they're mad at us, you know? Like they're mad at me for something that like say I didn't help them with what's supposed to be with their work, something that they're paid for, and like I don't help them with it. Like they'll be like that. Well, they teach, so like I'll be like cornered in class sometimes. So
Like what? Where did I go wrong?
exactly, like girl, you're paid for that.
That's what you do.
Yeah,
And I pay for this.
yeah, and I paid for you to teach me.
How about you, Ayesha? Do you have like any moments that you would like to share? Any memorable or like fun stories?
What?
Any?
Any.
Coming from the past few stories when we first met, I think there's plenty. It could be any, honestly. There is no like genre in this.
I'm trying to rewind back for 3 years. It's a long journey. I don't really remember.
She's grown up. She's a strong girl now.
Oh, sure.
She's a woman now.
Oh my god.
S1, S2.
Do you need time to think?
Yeah. I forgot.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess I have some stories, but they're like not really interesting, I guess.
Tell us.
What stories? Like, do you want junior high school or high school? You guys can pick, because I don't really like know.
You junior.
Junior. Okay, let's talk about like in 9th grade. I don't know really like no, okay, so let's like go back to my American friend. So he's a boy and his mom also teaches there, but like for kindergarten, I think, in the same school. And he lived in America basically his whole life, and then he moved to Indonesia. I forgot on which grade he was, but basically when I first came there, since I come from an American background too, I was like, wait, you're American? He's like, yeah, I come from wait, where does he come from? Colorado. I'm like, no way. He's like, yeah. And then we talk about like fun stories and like him, do you like ever miss these stuff? And I'm like, oh my god, actually I just remember that because of you. Like he says like so many like cool stuff. And there's like, he's a cheesy person. So basically he's a cheesy person. So if he makes jokes, the only person that would get it is like probably me, because they're American jokes. But like, wow, like learning from all your stories, I can like really tell that it's been like they're all really different and they're really cool with themselves. So you don't have to compare them because they're all unique and they have interesting like stories in all schools. Do you guys like want to add anything?
So
No, thank you.
You can add anything, Adiba.
Bro, what
Actually-
happened to his school?
Yeah, what happened to your school? What happened to your school?
your school.
What my school?
So
Come on.
actually, there's this one moment where
Uh-huh.
this junior got not that hated, but I think she puts it in the heart too much.
Ah.
She was bringing this problem to orang dalam.
Oh my god.
Then unfortunately, she's like, okay, until these people say sorry to me, I do not want to go back to Pondok.
Oh
And
wow,
all
that's
of-
brutal.
And then all of us was like, okay, you should just go out. And then after that, a couple of months later, she already went out.
Oh my
We
gosh.
found an Instagram story of hers saying, what do you think about Afkaruna? And then she was like, oh, it's a 2 out of... what do you think about this school? And she was like, oh, it's a 2 out of 10. The kelebihan is, okay, I like the seniors, S3. They're nice and then the kekurangan was, why do you even ask? There's so many until I can't mention. Why do you think I went out? Like,
Oh yeah.
and all of us was like, okay, what did S2 do to you? We did nothing. And we're like, okay, you went out because of a small problem. And she was like, all going out like, okay, this is your fault, I went out.
That's a really good perspective, because like now we can like see how things can like affect yourself, especially if you become too emotional. And like it's cool coming from you guys, those like dear sisters, you guys that go
Yeah,
to
I
the
regret
same
saying
school.
that.
It's okay. We all love our sisters, our siblings. It's normal. I can see that you guys have a really cool experience. Well, there always be ups and downs, even in like your school and my school and like all you guys' school. And like from your background, that you get to like know your teachers more. You act like they're friends with you, and that's like a really cool kelebihan. And for me, there's a lot of stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, you can. There's a lot.
In our school, like once the teacher really treats you well and stuff like that, we all is like, oh, directly. This teacher is just our favorite. She can't go anywhere. She's ours, like that.
Yeah,
Because
okay.
finding a suitable and very good, the best,
Understanding teacher is
Yeah.
so hard.
not
It's-
easy.
Very rare, I agree.
Yeah, and then this one teacher came into our class for giving our results of exam.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, that time the condition of our class was messy because we did math remedial and we were like, what is this? Our class was literally messy and all of us was laying on the floor. And then she went in and like, okay, you don't want me to come in? Okay, then I'll go out. And then she went
Oh
out,
my
went to the
gosh.
office.
No
and
way.
then our room leader came in and said, what's wrong with her? I was like, we don't know.
That's so cool. So like we can conclude from like all of your guys' story that we all have like super like different and like interesting stories because they're all coming from a different background. I think that's all from our podcast. Thank you, Wonder People, for listening. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Bye.
Bye.